Greetings, this is Pastor R.A. McGee of the ICANN Church here in Newark, Ohio, and today I would like to talk about the altar call. So we come into church, we praise God at our seat, we stand and we praise, we sit and we praise, we sing songs at our seat. But what is the purpose of going to the altar? So I'd like to read Psalm 43, and we'll read verse 4. Then will I go unto the altar of God, unto God my exceeding joy. Yea, upon the harp will I praise thee, O God, my God. So then will I go to the altar of God. So then will I go, it's an actual Hebrew phrase that means to come to the altar, but it also means to go to war. So as we come to the altar, we're coming and we're preparing for battle. We're ready to go and do our duty for God because we are at war with the spirits of this world. So as we go to war, we go in and it says unto the altar. That means we're walking up to it, we're getting near, we're getting towards it, we're coming upon the altar. So we're not standing back, we're not sitting in our seat, we're actually going to the altar to go to battle and go to war. So as we go into the altar is simply the altar of Elohim, God. So that is where we're at. Now if you go on into, it says, unto God my exceeding joy, and yea, upon the harp will I praise thee. Will I praise thee is an actual phrase too. It also means to revere, to worship with extended hands, to bemoan, to make confession, to be thankful, praising God, to be giving of ourselves to God. So God expects us to come to the altar, and you think about that list of things he wants us to do. First, we're coming to the altar to go to war. We're getting prepared for battle. So we come to the front, we come up, we get on bended knees, we raise our hands before God, and we're going to go to battle. So as we come to go to battle, we're here to lift our hands, to revere and worship, and to make confession and give thanks to God for what he has done for us. And it says, I will praise thee. Hope, joy, lifting hands, confession, praise, thankfulness. And then I want to read something that John told us about worshiping in the altar. We have to worship at the altar, and this is the New Testament. It says, God told John to measure the temple, the altar, and something else. Let's see what this is. Revelations 11:1. And there was given unto me a reed like unto a rod. A rod is a measuring device. And the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and them that worship therein. So isn't that interesting? God's saying, measure the temple. How big is the temple? Measure the altar. Do we have a big enough altar? But he's also saying, measure them that worship therein. So it says, them that worship. If you look this up in the Greek, it actually means to fawn, to crouch down, to literally be prostrate in front of God, to pay homage, to show reverence to God, to adore God. So God is actually measuring us. He's telling John the Revelator, measure those that are at the altar. Measure those that are worshiping me. Are they meeting the criteria that I have set before them? So measure the temple, the gospel church. Is it built? Is it too big? Is it too small? Is it what God expects? The altar, where we should worship, and the worshipers must be worshipped. So what is the altar? It's a place of sacrifice. We offer our sacrifice of praise unto God. So we actually step out of our comfort zone. We leave the comfort of our seat, and we come to the front when the altar call is given, and we go before God to get ready and make a sacrifice of praise. Hebrews 13:14 through 17. And here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. So nothing's going to last down here. We're seeking that eternal city. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to God continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifice, God is well pleased. Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as that must give account, that they may do so with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable to you. So yes, there is a purpose in the altar call. Yes, there's a purpose for us to come to the altar, to prepare ourselves for battle, to come to the altar and lay it out before God, to lay before God and give Him His honor and that is due Him. Because God is an awesome God, and He's here for us. He's here to see us through. He wants us to be successful. So this is Pastor R.A. McGee at the Christian Assembly Church in Newark, the I-CAN Church. And we have services at 10 a.m. Sunday, and we just recently started having a Wednesday night Bible study at 6:30. So everybody is welcome to come. God bless.